guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about highlighting and contouring. So this is a continuation video from my last video, which was the foundation routine. So after I've applied my foundation, I conceal. Now some people conceal before their foundation, I choose to do it after my foundation. I don't really have any breakouts, but if I do have any breakouts, I use my Coastal Scents Camouflage palette. These concealers are thick and creamy, so you shouldn't use these under your eyes. So these are great for covering anything, like if you have any maybe strawberry marks on your face, any birthmarks that you want to hide, if you have some serious acne or breakouts that you really want to cover, the camouflage concealers are for you. But they are really too thick to use under the eyes because the under eyes are so sensitive. You should really be using a very light concealer. So I choose to use the Benefit Buoyant Concealer. In here you have your light and your darker shade. This came with the Best of Everything set, or the Best of Everything set, but this came inside it and I'm using it to death. As you can see, the lighter shade is almost gone. This is fantastic, and this is just a brilliant concealer, and it's very light and it's perfect for under the eyes. Another good concealer I use sometimes, which is actually gone missing at the moment. I think I left it in my locker in work, but it's the Sleek Color Corrector and Concealer Palette. So you've seen this in my Pretty Little Liars makeup tutorial. It's basically a yellow powder, a concealer, and then kind of a pink corrector. Now a corrector is different to a concealer. A corrector just kind of hides any discoloration. So I love using the light color in this palette to use under my eyes, and I kind of bring it down towards my nose and it kind of draws light to that area. But it isn't a concealer, it's just a color corrector. So I'm just going to use my finger, I'm just going to rub it into the lighter shade, and I'm just going to pat it under my eye. Now I use the darker shade for my lids, and I use that just as a primer. But with my highlighting and contouring at the moment, I love just using a lighter shade around my eye area and then using a lighter powder to set it. And I think in pictures and stuff it just looks amazing because you have all this light area under your eyes and then you have a really contoured cheek. I suppose my highlighting and contouring at the moment is very similar to Kim Kardashian. That's not done on purpose, it's just the way I like it at the moment. So I'm just going to apply this. I don't have that much discoloration under my eyes, but I don't need that much coverage, but this concealer is fantastic. Another good concealer you could use is the Healthy Mix. It comes in a little tube. It's really lightweight and perfect for under the eyes. Now a lot of people don't realise that you shouldn't put heavier concealers under your eye. Like MAC do concealers in a tub and they're really thick and creamy, and I've seen so many like YouTubers put it under their eyes, and it's really not a good thing. So what I've done, just so you can see properly, I've applied the concealer under my eyes, I brought it down towards my nose, and then I bring it up here. And then I take my sponge and I just kind of pat it into my skin. I don't blend it out, I pat it into the skin. If I had any breakouts, I'll just dip my finger into the concealer, and let's just say I had a spot here, I just place my finger onto the spot and kind of let the concealer melt into the skin. And then I just kind of pat it out. Next step is the powder. So at the moment I'm using my Blank Canvas Cosmetics powder. This is the second version, and I like this one because I've got all my colours right here in front of me and I don't need anything else. So it just works for me. So I use this shade to powder my whole face. I use the lighter shade for under my eyes, and then I use the darker shade for my contouring. Now if I'm just bronzing my skin, I'll use the lighter shade, but if I'm contouring, I'll use a darker shade. But because it's so dark, you have to be really careful because you don't want it to look muddy. So I'm using this really small brush just to apply the powder under my eye. So I'm using the lightest shade, just just the tiniest bit, and I'm just powdering under my eye and down to my nose and up towards my temples. Already see how much light is in this area compared to this eye. And I just think that looks amazing on camera or in pictures, but that's just my personal opinion. Now I'm just going to show you quickly, if I wasn't contouring, I would just dip brush. I'd usually use this type of brush. I dip a brush like this into the lighter color here, and then I just kind of swirl it around my cheekbone, on my forehead, and down my jawline, and just kind of do it in kind of an E shape, and that gives you a lovely sun-kissed look. It just kind of depends where I'm going, what I'm doing, but at the moment I'm kind of obsessed with highlighting and contouring. So I'm using the darkest shade, I'm just dipping in once, and I'm shaking out the brush. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. So I want to contour under my cheekbone. So if I make a fish face, this is where you want to apply your contour. So it's really just at the start of my ear and working down. Now I use my eyeball kind of as a guideline. So if I'm looking straight ahead, I don't want my contour to pass this area, because then it just looks quite silly. So I just use my eyeball as a guideline, so it won't pass this mark here. Okay, so I place the brush into position. Now I only have one chance to do this, because if I keep doing it, then it can look really muddy. So I just do one sweep, then I'll dip the brush into the contour again, and I'll blend it out. So I basically just have one chance to do this. I found in the past that if I've dipped into it too much, it can look muddy and dirty. So just the one chance, okay? So fish face, and so I'm just rubbing up and down. Okay, now I'm going to dip into the colour again, shake it out, and I'm going to blend it out. So this is your line here. You don't want to blend it past this line. You want to blend it up. So now there's nothing more on the brush now. So I'm just blending it out. Now if I ever have passed that line, you can just get your sponge and clean it right up. But it's usually okay. Okay. So you can see if I applied too much colour here, it would look really muddy. I'm just going to apply it just on the top of my forehead. Okay. Now can you see that side of the face compared to this side? So today I'm going to go ahead and use this colour right here. When you apply your blush, you can smile and apply it in your apples of your cheek and blend out, but I don't really like to apply it right in here. I just like to apply it from like where my contour stopped, rather than going right in. So just like that. See? Your contour and your blush is like your powder. So I have all this area here, which I haven't powdered, and my forehead. So I'm just gonna use the second lightest shade here in this palette, and I'm just gonna use that just to kind of seal my foundation on the rest of my skin. So now that I've brought some light like under my eyes, I also like to finish off with kind of a shimmery highlight just on my cheekbone here and just above my brow. So very subtle, because I hate that really some people just apply it all over their cheeks and they just have really shimmery cheeks. I don't like that. I just want a tiny bit on my cheekbone here and just above my eyebrow, just to kind of lift up my face a bit. This is the Sleek contour palette I was talking about earlier. This is a gorgeous color for bronzing or even contouring. And this is the highlight color. It's got gorgeous pink undertones, or a pink kind of sheen to it rather than an undertone. So that looks gorgeous on your skin. And then I have this one from e.l.f. and it's white, kind of a yellowy glitter to it. Then there's the Catrice Prime and Fine, and this is 010 and it's called Fairy Dust. And this one is very light, and you can see it there next to the e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. highlight. You can see it's not as glittery, it's very natural, but it gives a nice sheen to the skin. So today I'm going to use this color. And again, just to finish off everything, I'm just going to blend everything in as one. Now, if you wanted to go for the whole Kim Kardashian thing, you could slim your nose by using the contour down your nose and then highlighting in the center. This will slim your nose. But I just prefer to leave my nose alone because the bridge of my nose is fine. I just hate this bit of my nose. But I don't like to draw any type of attention to my nose because I hate it so much. So that is why I don't do it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you liked this video and thank you so much for watching. Bye guys. Sun is out as well, so it's made the camera look very kind of yellowy, which is really annoying, but I can't really do anything about that, I'm afraid. That's the problem when you use natural lighting. It just never goes right. So anyways, where's my sponge?